Landon and I, we broke up. He was physically, verbally, emotionally, you name it, our entire relationship, which he's admitted to.
I want to be truthful, I want to be honest. Definitely more toxic and causing more fights, sometimes verbally.
Was not there for me. He didn't really take care of our child for a long time. He just wasn't the father that I expected him to be, nor the partner, so I was looking at places and I was ready to go. So he gets diagnosed with cancer. I'm taking care of him independently while caring for a newborn independently, and I was carrying all the weight around previous to him getting sick. I was doing everything from 100% baby to most of the work, handling all the bills, all the finances, doing all the housework, all the laundry, everything for the dogs. And it was during like the beginning of COVID, so it was a really hard time for me. During cancer, he was not understanding. He wasn't nice to me. He continued to be during his cancer treatments. He would manipulate me after. He would be mean to me and hurt me. He would basically say like, oh, it's because I have cancer. After our channel got hacked, maybe a year back now, it was never the same. It ruined so many things to our channel. He was not contributing financially in any way. I was paying his entire boxing career, the other half of the rent, all of our cars, his McLaren, all of our employees, and funding businesses that we both invested to separately. Our monthly expenses were about $50,000. The least you can do is contribute to like YouTube, because like that's the only way you're contributing financially. You should be helping in that way, any way you can. I said, listen, you need to like really start figuring out a way to make money, because the checks that come for me, I'm gonna be moving them to a separate account. Once we broke up, I said, you know what, I need to protect myself and my assets. It's my money. You need to start making your money. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna make my money, He just never did. He never brought in any money. So like, you know, a month goes by, maybe longer, still not bringing anything. He says, okay, how about I'm gonna keep trying to make money, but I'm also gonna, like, I'll just pay you back. So that's how the loan came about. His mother calls me while I'm in the car and says, Soul, she's coming with us to Miami for like 7 days, right? I'm booking the tickets. And the initial agreement months ago, before things got really bad, that Landon and I had was that I would go with Soul, even though we weren't together. But things started getting really bad, and so they had like canceled me off the trip without saying anything to me. And she said, well, just Soul's going. Like, I have a ticket just for Soul. And I said, you know what, Nicole, her dad and I are still like trying to figure that out. We'll let you know when we come to like an agreement. As I was going upstairs in the room, I heard Landon on the phone, so I got quiet. I went in there and he was ushering me for me to leave, go, but I could hear whoever was on the phone was like yelling. So I said, no, I'm not going. And I realized the voice was his mom. He had it to his ear, and I could hear her screaming. And she was saying, I don't care if she doesn't like it, we're gonna take her anyways with us. And my heart dropped. I realized they were talking about my daughter, taking her to Miami. And I said, Nicole, I can hear you. How dare you? I heard his phone like ding, 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 ding. And I was like, and I looked over and it was his mother. The day after, I heard her plotting on taking my child. Intuition was going crazy, and at the time I had a broken foot, so I was in a boot, and I had him unlocked his phone, and I had taken it and I locked myself in the car. And we had met Joe mutually, so I felt like he owed me loyalty. And since we're on the topic, like, I really did love Joe and I really did care about him, and I would make sure he was good. Anyways, but he had already proved he wasn't loyal to me at that point, so I didn't trust him either. So I went in the car, I locked myself in the car, and I went to the messages with his mother, and Landon's like banging on the window, like, you're crazy, what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you doing? And I'm like shaking, I'm like, okay, read, like, and I went, and his mother was sending him exact amounts of what was in my account. They had went through my personal information, and she was logged into my personal business banking accounts completely separate from Landon, which is extremely illegal, by the way. They were plotting on how to take my money through his phone through the crack, and he handed Soul off to Joe. And Landon was like, you're crazy, like, just gaslighting.
You seriously need help.
You need help.
No, I'm
You're
not being
such
funny.
a liar. You're trying to manipulate me. On the messages. I literally have to record this because I don't believe you. I saw your mom going through my bank information.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Joe walk with Soul onto the street, leave the front yard and go onto the sidewalk. Instantly, I was like, no, because, you know, the day before, I'd heard that conversation with his mother. So I'm like, keep my baby in my vision all times. And so I went over there and I said, Joe, give me Soul, give me my daughter. And he like motioned and like turned his back to me and kept going. I have a broken foot. I'm like, a broken foot. I'm a little slower. So I'm like, Joe, give me my daughter. What can I do? And I was like, you know, I said, I'm calling the police. But my phone was in the car. Ran as fast as I could to the car. And I called 911. And I said, like, their kid my baby, like, please help me. Like, I told Landon, like, if you just tell him to just come back with her, bring her back to me, and I will hang up and they will not come. And then it says, okay, Joe, bring her back. For these two people to terrorize me and then act like that didn't happen. Joseph in his declaration admits the situation never happened. Why is there a 911 call?
I'm trying to leave. Like, you can call me crazy, you can call me, I'm sure I'm up right now, dude. I just went through the worst thing in my life. Like, I cannot trust you. I want to be able to trust you with our daughter. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm scared you're going to take her and, like, try to keep her there and try to say, like, I'm crazy. Like, I'm terrified of that. Like, I don't want you to take my daughter. Like, she is literally all I have. Like, yeah, trust you. Yes, you and your mom is the biggest thing right now. Like, I confirmed. I don't know what you guys are trying to do behind the scenes, and I don't trust it. You betrayed me. Like, I'm not ready to even, like, heal from that. Like, I just wish you wouldn't do the shady shit that you do. Like, I want to trust you as her dad.
So fast forward, his mother calls my mom and says this whole story of how she cares for me, and she didn't say that, and she wants to pay me back the loan so that I can be good and make sure I'm taken care of, and blah 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 blah. And she just wants to know if I can pull all the receipts basically for this. So the meeting day comes, we all sit down there, and she didn't even look at the paperwork that I pulled. None of it. Landon sat there next to her. She said, "Don't you think he deserves to leave with something? If he was owed something, yes." I said, "He agreed to pay me back all the money he owed me. Did you get him to write it in contract? Is there a contract? No, then you're not getting any of it back. And don't bother consulting a lawyer because I already talked to one. You're not getting any of it back." So cold and calculated. In that moment, he was sitting next to her with his arms crossed, like leaning back, like he knew this was gonna happen. And he's smiling, and he's like, "Yep." And he's smiling, looking at me like this, knowing they had just completely tried to fuck me over. I had been busting my ass, paying for everything his entire career for months, under the guise that he was gonna pay me back, He was smiling, and he thought it was funny. He thought I could see just like the evilness in his eyes. He thought this was a game, like fight or flight kicked in, and I'm like, okay, they just took all my money. Is my child gonna be next? Loaded her up in the car, and he drove around like panicking, like, where am I gonna take my kid? Like, trying to figure it out. Like, what am I gonna do? Just crying.
No one will believe me. And right now, yeah, Mama, we're sitting parked right now in the car because I'm fearful to go home. I believe they're trying to my daughter, proof of them gaslighting, trying to tell the whole world I'm crazy and trying to convince other people. They've stolen. Landon and his mom have stolen, and like, I'm literally out here in my house shoes. Like, I just left with her. Like, I'm terrified they're gonna take my baby, and I'm not crazy.
That's when I took this picture. I called my brother, and he came over, and I was like, "I need you to help me pack my shit up. Like, I'm leaving today." Like, not an hour later, police showed up outside my house. His mother was out there. He was out there on the phone with my attorney, and my brother was here. I think I have a video. I might include a video. And my attorney said, "Go send your brother out there and see what they want." And I texted them, like, your access, my attorney had me reach out to them, your access has been revoked to the house if you're not on the lease. Only Landon was on the lease. So I was like, you guys are not to come in this house, which is my right. My brother goes out there and he says, "Oh, she's taking the Range Rover back." And I'm like, of course she is. So my attorney's like, "Just give her the keys, like, we can get it back in court, not a big deal." I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't care. I have my kid. I don't care. He goes and gives him the keys.
Hey, keys?
And Landon needs to get his stuff, so I'm going to wait for the police.
What, did she say anything?
She said there's 2 keys.
No, there's not 2 keys.
She said Landon still needs to get his stuff, so they're waiting for the police. So they're trying to put it all over. So
I guess, okay, let me just go out here and talk to them. Can you just report, because I just don't trust that.
There was never 2 sets of keys. Landon still legally lives here. He has every right to come get his stuff. He can come get his stuff. That's no problem. But you cannot enter unaccompanied, and he cannot enter unaccompanied. But if Landon wants to go get his stuff, no, he can come get his stuff. I think they just want to make a show out of this.
Then it comes out they had called a police escort, and they had said, like, I was crazy and trying to play the whole victim. He had brought all his friends to, like, help him get his stuff, and I said, okay. I just thought it was very, like, his mother was outside standing with my Range Rover, like, smiling, and it was like, you're evil, like, you were so evil. And she's like, yeah, like, it was a game to them, like, how bad could they hurt me? My attorney came over and he said, "Does he have any weapons?" Yeah, he has 2 weapons. Like, he was like, "Do you know where they're kept?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Go upstairs and check." And I went upstairs, and there were no. My heart dropped. Why would you come and get, like, your clothes and your, I don't understand. One was registered and one was unregistered. That started a big, like, panic for me. Like I said, I need to get a restraining order. And he has this unregistered, he's denying it, and I was getting so anxious. So my attorney asked him to submit it's called a DV-800 paperwork. I have never owned or possessed another. He signed that and he said, "I've never owned or possessed another." once we submitted those photos, they submitted another one saying, oh, I changed my mind. I just forgot that I owned it and then I got rid of it. Why are you lying and hiding this if you have good intention? I found the phone he had given to me. The grace of God, I found a picture he had taken of both side by side with the date, dated like 9 months past when he said he had gotten rid of it. To at least look like a good father and play that like internet dad role. Hasn't. The visitation center asked me, would it be fine if he brought gifts? And I thought they were asking that because he had gifts he wanted to give her. And I said, yeah, that's fine. You know, I'm not gonna let my like hurt stop her like receiving things from her dad. Like, I'm not gonna do that. No, he's not bought one thing for her. Not a diaper, not a snack, not a clothing, not shoes, nothing. We switched visitation facilities. They are asking me to stop packing her lunch. They're like, we want to make him be a dad. I'm just like, I don't want him to be a dad because someone mandated it. If he wanted to, he would have. He chooses not to, and that's fine. She needs for nothing. Literally, he doesn't even know her shoe sizes, her diaper. In his declaration, he was asked what her diaper size was. He got it wrong. He didn't know. Even down to the engagement ring you guys saw floating around. Here's the agreement for that. And here's my receipt.